always been a defined line between faith and reason for a lot of people. But that line isn't real. You see, faith and reason are almost like siblings. You can't have one without the other. They are both essential in our search for the truth. Now, I know that a lot of you listening may be a person of science, or that you are logical. And there's nothing wrong with that. And even I am a firm believer in the scientific method. The thing that is wrong is the extreme mentality that there is only science or only logic. This mindset is wrong, as faith is just as important, if not more important than reason. But what are faith and reason? Pure reason is just a way of coming to know things through observation, and faith is another way to know things by taking someone else's word for this. And we do it all the time when we learn from a teacher. By putting faith in God, we believe what he tells us, and we receive a higher knowledge. That knowledge is beyond what we could learn through just reason. Without faith, we are nothing, and without reason, we do not have the ability to understand ourselves, God, and the world. I really like the way that St. Pope John Paul II puts the relationship between faith and reason in one of his encyclicals titled Fides et Ratio, or Faith and Reason. Here's what he said: faith and reason are like two wings on which the human spirit rises to the contemplation of the truth. Now imagine how much it must mean, coming from one of the closest people to God, a saint and a pope, that he believes that reason is just as important as faith. JP2 also quotes the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, which says, "The human mind plans the way, but the Lord directs the steps." This means that we can use our own human mind to carve the way we want to go, but the proper and appropriate steps are only possible through God. This means that faith and reasoning cannot be without each other, without prohibiting us from understanding ourselves as humans, understanding God, and understanding the world. Although JP2's ideas are truly amazing and influential, St. Augustine was actually one of the first people in the Catholic Church to begin pondering this topic of faith and reason. What he declared was that faith precedes reason, and paraphrasing the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 9, "Unless you believe, you will not understand." I really like this way of thinking, as if we do not believe in our faith in God, we will not understand what we believe in. Another point that St. Augustine brings up is that true faith and true reason must agree with each other. This means that if faith and reason disagree, and we know our faith to be true, then it is the reasoning that is wrong. Now let me ask you a question. If I came up to you and asked you if you love someone, you would reply yes or no, right? Well, regardless of the response you gave me, I would ask you how you knew if you love someone or not. Sure, we can run diagnostics and measure heart rate, but there's no surefire way of knowing that you are in love with someone. This is a point where you just have to believe. And just like believing that you are in love with someone, there is a point where our faith cannot be understood or proven with reasoning, and that is when we just have to believe in our faith. Still don't believe that faith and reason go hand in hand? Well, have you ever heard of the Big Bang Theory? Let me break it down for you. The Big Bang Theory is a revolutionary theory that states that all matter in the entire universe came from the size of a single atom. Do you know who first came up with the Big Bang Theory? It was actually a Belgian Catholic priest named Father George Lemaitre. He was a very renowned scientist and a very good priest. He spent a lot of his time praying, speaking with cardinals, and giving talks. Even when Albert Einstein gave a series of talks that everyone came to see, he gave up his last speech to Father Lemaitre to speak to the audience. And Einstein even called his ideas very beautiful indeed. Following this, Father Lemaitre gave a talk for Cardinal O'Connell of the Archdiocese of Boston at the Round Table of Catholic Scientists, and even won the Mendel Medal for outstanding service to science. When Pope Pius XII addressed the public, he said that the Church was planning on staying well-informed on the current scientific revolution, referencing Father Lemaitre's Big Bang Theory. This means that the First Vatican Council and the Pope are publicly announcing that faith and reason are complementary. But what's the point of all this? Well, we are called by God through our faith to grow closer to Him by receiving the sacraments and doing good in the world. We use our reasoning to determine whether to do good things or bad things, and are given a nudge by the Holy Spirit to choose the good. By doing good in the world, receiving the sacraments and praying, we are growing in our faith and reasoning, and at the same time we are growing closer to the way, the truth, and the life.